Thanks for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. You can find us wherever you find podcasts or listen to music. When you have an opportunity, please give us a 5-star review, write a little note, tell us how we're doing. We really appreciate it. It helps us keep this thing going. If you want to reach out to us, you can find us at Facebook at Hidden Tracks. Instagram is at HiddenTracks99, and if you'd like to send in submissions or talk to us or give us any feedback about what we're doing, our email is myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show. What's up, everybody? Another week, another edition of the show. This week, I'm excited to have someone who was just recently on my weekly threes of 3 things that I can't stop listening to. I have the amazing artist, LOVIET, here joining us today. Welcome to the show and braving the storm that you and I both had to endure today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's our absolute pleasure. So let's first get in your most recent single release. I know creating music and putting music out there is a really it's a hard and painstaking and happy thing all at the same time. So now that it's had some time to sit and go, how do you feel about, the single and how it's doing and where it's come from?
Honestly, like this record, just to like go off on a tangent already at the very beginning, but this
Do it.
record, yeah,
Do it.
here we go. This record's so special because I actually produced it myself, and it's kind of very different from maybe what we've released in the past. Just because of the fact that it is so, I always like describe it as like kind of a like grittier, like kind of rougher, even though it's still quite like commercial sheen polished, but just it feels like it's more scrappy of a record to me simply because we made it ourselves. And so I know the ins and outs of how much like it was quite a like just an ordeal to sort of get back in the recording room myself on my own and try and do just all of that behind the scenes work, which isn't very glamorous, like editing and cutting everything from home and piecing it all together, and also over like a time period that I feel like um it wasn't quite like, I really like making things and putting them out quite fast. So the fact that this kind of took a period of time that was longer than a year, I was like, a little like, okay. But so there's like a whole, like the whole making of this record feels very special. And like, yeah, so the fact that when we were deciding on releasing it and how we were going to release it, we just sort of decided that it was kind of a singles game for these songs because we wanted each of them to have their place and kind of equal amount of attention brought to each song versus just releasing a body of work and letting everybody else digest it. We just wanted to give every single song a bit of a platform, and because they're also different, like I feel like there's such a different they all have like a very similar thread, but then they also have their own voice and like their own kind of characteristics. But they're all kind of in the same theme, which is why they're all put together on one record. Yeah, but I feel like there's a very interesting connection I have to this music because it is something that um, it feels like I wanted to make this record years ago, but somehow the cart got before the horse, and the industry things that we were doing, it just didn't align. And yeah, it's really like kind of fun and playful to be like releasing a record that doesn't feel exactly um it's not an uncool record, but it's not like we're out here trying to match this too cool bedroom pop, or like whatever the kids are doing right now. Like I feel like this is so me, not doing something that I think everybody's going to necessarily love or that's very trendy. It feels extremely 2000s and extremely like a thing that I just love, that I'm just really excited about making, that I've wanted to make forever. So, yeah.
So, well, I mean, you say it's special, but I want to, you know, take that word away because I want to truly know, isn't it hard for you to, if you're doing everything yourself, you're producing, editing, doing it all, to sit on your creation and to play with it for so long? Did you run into some of the traps that many of us have run into of like overdoing something or not understanding? Like I'm working with a producer right now where I said, listen, if it sounds good to my ears and sounds good to your ears, that means it sounds great to everyone else. So
Right.
like at some time we need to stop at, I
Right.
always go to an artist. You need to stop adding paint to the painting. A chef, stop adding salt to the steak. Like it's done.
Real. Real.
Did you run into any of that? And, to take away, like, I wanted to strip that specialness because, yeah, it's special you
Yeah.
did it yourself, but at the same time, there had to have been some struggles of like, is it
Oh
done
my
or is
God.
it not?
So many struggles, but like it's not even like a like I honestly found it so painful. Like I talk about this a lot sometimes where I'm just like, man, I don't want to make a record like this again. Like, and to be fair, maybe I will now that like you've gotten the first one down. So maybe the second one will be easier to do, but it is so fucking hard. Like, pardon my French, but like so hard. And like I needed to just like let it go, which is kind of where they ended up. But I also had a lot of help, like our mixing engineer Ian. He like I was sending like little bits to see if it was like at a place that he would be like, this is good enough. Cause even still, I wasn't sure if the quality was gonna cut. Cause like we still wanted it to have like a very like a hi-fi sound. So we were like maybe it's not good enough. Like some of the stuff I tracked in bed through like Ableton, through like just, you know what I mean? So I was like,
Yeah.
maybe this part's not going to work. So it was a lot of like figuring it out and testing the waters. And then also like you're saying about the ability to just like let it go and call it done. I came to that place kind of faster, I think, out of like sort of laziness because I physically was going insane. Like I can't express to you. Like I was just mentally maxing myself out to a point when I was like, never mind. It's fine. Like I couldn't anymore, which is I hate that feeling. And to be fair, my life is like with all the touring and all the things that we've been doing, and also just like I kind of uprooted my life at that point we were making it, like I just wasn't in like a position. I've learned that like if I can get to do the next one, maybe if I'm living somewhere that's like less nomadic, like where I can actually like have a studio set up and just come to a place where it's not feeling so all over the place, because I genuinely feel like I was cutting edits like in cars, in at the kitchen table, at my parents' house, at a cottage, at so it was just all over, and like there was no like there wasn't a lot of peace while we were trying to like scramble to do all this stuff and make this record. And yeah, and then as for the timeline of releasing it, it also kind of got pushed a little bit. So yeah, I definitely feel like I've had to come to terms with not being precious, but I absolutely get it about that. Because yeah, if and again, I think when I'm working, it's actually funny because I think when I'm working with a producer, and it's up to them, I might be a little bit more of a control freak versus when I'm doing it myself, because I feel like, yeah, there's just a mental health there that I'm like, it's challenging. Like I couldn't hear myself. I needed to like a complete break from hearing myself sing for like a month after I was editing these songs, because I was just like, I never want to hear that bitch again, like literally. Which is why I don't know how some people just do it. Like, I'm really lucky, I guess, that I've been able to work with so many great people and they've taken that out of my hands, because I genuinely get sick of myself so quickly. So it's nice to just like, yeah, have somebody help like put a buffer between you and your entire soul and your feelings and your emotions. And because like you said, there is this specialness about this record, and it was like a love letter to like the early aughts and the music that I came up on and the music that like inspires me. But I also felt like I was just like getting to a place where, yeah, I missed having the band element, and I missed having the other creators and the other team members to kind of keep you excited, I think, because I was playing all the guitars and the basses and things like myself. My only other bandmate in this record is my drummer. Um, and, we're pretty isolated when we made it. So I think that if there was a little bit of a community still in the room, maybe I could have kept that, that willingness and that excitement every day that I go to the laptop and kind of keep editing. Um, but it was like it got to a point when I was genuinely just like couldn't even hear sounds anymore. Like that's just like nitpicking, and like you listen to it in the car every day. You listen to the mixes, even though they're not final mixes or anybody's. You're just kind of rough mixing it to get the parts, and yeah, it's like insanity. I don't know how some people are just very regimented, I think, and they have the ability to do those things. But personally, it's like my living hell.
Well, let me ask you this, because this is also that moment where, as you just described it, right? Then the way I look at it and the way some people, everyone has a different answer when it comes to something like this. But you've just put so much effort, so much work. You said you couldn't hear yourself anymore. But now it's done. You put all this time and energy into it, then it gets out there, and then you have to go tour and play those songs. Do those songs take on a new life again, or are you like sick of them all over again when you have to start playing them, going on tour to push the record?
I always liked I always like performing better than recording. I've always had a struggle with recording, and I think because so much of myself is the environment of a live show, like that feels like my brand, and my person is like me on stage. Like I don't really connect. Like this sounds so silly or like cheesy or try hardy, but I genuinely like I feel like when I'm not at a show or on stage, the rest of the time of my life is just like I'm a sleeper agent or something. Like there's just nothing happening and I don't know why I'm here and I'm just confused. And I feel like a lot of artists feel that way, where it's just like, that's my place, and my whatever it is, 45-minute set is probably the most I feel connected to my music and connected to what I do. When I'm writing songs, it's usually very painful. Like, I don't like, there's some moments when you're creating that it's just like so lovely. And especially again, when you're collaborating with somebody that really gets it, and you're both vamping on an idea and you get excited about it. And then there's the period of time when you have like a demo and you just want to listen to it all the time because it's just yours and like it's so special. But I feel like once you get that song kind of recorded, it's not like you still have like a lot of love for it and excitement for it, but I feel like you do lose that fantasy. I think like the sky is not the limit anymore because you've created what it is and it is now like formed. And then all the anxieties start to come into the world. Like I don't know, like it's I can imagine it's close to like when people are about to have a baby or something, which no fucking clue what that's like. But in my world, I'm like, yeah, then my anxieties are like, what is the world going to do with this? Like, am I going to be able to give this everything it deserves? Like my anxiety definitely takes over versus the love of like the incubation period and just making things and keeping them for myself. And then again, like I said, when I'm on stage, I do my best to just like, I guess I kind of regain ownership over those things and try to take them and just try to do them justice, I guess, on stage. Cause like, again, I'm still working on trying to make what I record and what I perform, live in the same worlds because I still find them so very different. Like I still want to somehow make them meet in the middle, because our live show is just so, um, yeah, it just doesn't feel like the same. We're not in a box. We're not in a ISO booth, like I'm not tracking vocals like sitting down with my laptop or something. Like, it's very different. And like the audience and the stage, all those things, they have such a different, impact on your music. So yeah, I'm still working on balancing those two worlds, which is an interesting little thing about us and me and my band.
Well, I think one of the big words that you just said is ownership. Because when you release something out into the world for people to listen to, I've stated it many a times to many a people, it no longer belongs to you, the artist. It belongs to the person that's listening to it and what it means to them. And I think the only time, like you said, you can recapture that ownership of your song is when you are performing it, because
So
now
real.
it's yours again, as opposed to the screaming fans that are out there that have their own meaning to. That's what also why I'm not a fan of like the storytellers stuff of like what a song was written for and what it means to. I'm like, no, 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 no. I already have my own meaning and what it means.
Dude,
I don't
amen.
need
I
you
am
to tell me
so
what it was
there.
about.
I am so with you. I am such an anti telling people what to fucking feel when they're listening to my music. And same as when I do press releases and I have to kind of come up with that kind of thing, because it never feels right to me to like narrow in exactly what's going on in the song, because even sometimes the songs, like, it doesn't actually have one meaning. Like the first verse could mean something completely different than the chorus. And a lot of the times I try to write, especially in this record, I kind of took a break from like we'll call it like the cliche writing, because I spent some time, like my early 20s, just doing a lot of like song camp-esque things and just co-writing. And a lot of that is based around being clever and trying to be like, like a cliche, like finding a way to say a cliche, but like rewriting it in your own way. And just, it's like puzzles. It feels like more like puzzles to me. And when I grew up, I'd listen to songs and everything was kind of on the page. It wasn't that like deep, or it was so vague and so non-mean, like there was no way to really grab, like some of it wasn't even proper English. Like some of the songs that I listen, like even like Maisie Star is like the one that I don't know why is coming to my mind, but like A Fade Into You is like a great example of a song that's so big and has so many people connect to it. But like honestly, there's a lot of question marks. Like there's not, you don't really know exactly what's going on in that song. It's not super clear. And I just love that songwriting so much. And when I started doing a lot of co-writing, that kind of didn't exist. It was kind of always people wanting to dumb down the audience and make it so that the audience could really either like get entertained or they'd know exactly, like, again, how is the story going to tell? Like, what's the story?
Yeah, what's
And
the
it's
story?
so
Don't let them
boring.
think, right?
No,
Like
exactly.
let's remove the thought process from the listener, and we'll tell them what it
Exactly.
is.
And
Yeah.
if you say I love you, it's like, well, that's not good enough. Like how can we say I love you but make it super unique? Because a lot of people say that. And it's like, yeah, a lot of people say that because that's what they fucking say. Like there's only a few things that like I just found like I got really anti like that mission where everything was in a box and you had to like try and be the most clever in the room. So, like I said, this record was very like, we're just going to write a rock record. And it's not going to be something that, again, the story isn't the most important thing in this record. The music and, like, again, the production for me is something that I get hooked on. It makes me kind of wonder if I'm even a good lyric writer half the time because, like, I just get so hooked on the guitars and like the production telling the story and like even Plush is a great example. Like I feel like this single we had the music for this song for a while and that's sort of the way that I feel I write most of the time, which is like the music is going to dictate what the song is going to say. Whereas I know a lot of my friends will literally have a song written in their voice note or like they'll write things down on like a doc and then be like, now let's put music to this whole lyrical thing I've written. But like, no, I feel like everything I've ever done has been based on what the sound of the song is calling for. Like, what is it saying? Like, because the music says so much to me. And so that's one of the reasons that we wrote Plush the way that we did, because um, it felt like whatever the music was saying was, you know, first and then the lyrics were secondary kind of, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
well,
But
I think
yeah,
people hear a song, right? And they listen for the voice and they stay for the song. So
nice.
like the voice, your vocals will pull someone in, but the whole song and the energy of the song and the guitars and the drums and the bass and what anything else you got going on has to be fucking great for
Mm,
people to stay.
amen.
So, well, you talk about, you know, growing up and doing things. This is where I want to get to that personal touch of you're a small child, music comes into your life. Do you have like a first musical memory, like the first thing you heard that kind of piqued your interest in music? I tell the story all the time so people can understand what I'm talking about. I was 6 years old and I heard the Beach Boys, and I'm now almost 50. And I'm in music, all in, and have been because of that singular moment of hearing the Beach Boys at 6 years old.
That's so cool. I love that so much. I mean, I definitely do, but it's probably not the coolest. Like, and it was definitely of the times because I'm a 90s baby. So I think I got like a boombox for Christmas and like the Britney Spears CD or something. Like that would have been my first records, like Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys. And I just liked music. I also feel like there was a whole thing with my mom because she's a singer and she would sing in rock bands and she had her guitar and she would like play little songs like her acoustic guitar. And so I always knew like that was in my family and that was kind of like
Anytime
around
someone
me.
says that, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
No,
anytime
it's all
someone
good.
says that, I always picture someone's mom is just your mom is Joe Jett. Like everybody who says like singer and then play guitar, I'm like, wow, her mom's Joan Jett. That's just what I visualize
What's
in my head.
okay,
So
but like low key, my mom is literally Joan Jett. She has black hair and black bangs and
I'm
yeah,
never wrong. I'm never
you're
wrong.
never wrong. She's a little bit less Joan Jett. She's a little bit more like Joni Mitchell. I think she always wanted to be more like Joni Mitchell. And me and her have very different styles. Like I didn't want to ever really cross into her world either. Like when I was coming up with music, I was so shy and so introverted about it, mostly because I wanted to keep it for myself. And I think that like she had her own thing. And, you know, just mom daughter things. I was like, no, I want to rebel and I want to go make my rock bands and I want it to have nothing to do with my parents. Like that's so weird. Even though obviously they got me onto all the music that I started out listening to. My dad also loved music. Like he's got absolutely no rhythm, God love him, but like loves a record, loves to put on a CD at full blast. So the two of them always influenced me quite heavily. Like it was always like Sheryl Crow records, Sarah McLachlan. Um Also my dad loved Black Sabbath, Bryan Adams, Leonard Skinner. Like there's a lot of classic rock. And then of course the local bands around like where I grew up in Canada, there was actually quite a few really cool rock bands in Canada that were popping off when I was coming up as a teen, like Matt Mays and Winter Sleep. So we just, yeah, I definitely just kind of got onto, yeah, just kind of more band oriented music. And despite being a Britney Spears fan, always will be, always
It's,
have been.
it's understandable. I get it.
Yeah, she's amazing. It's great. And great writing. Again, Max Martin, great writing. Always been a fan of pop music and pop structures. And, we've always towed the line in that world as well. So it's kind of a funny little, it's an interesting place to be.
Yeah, well, I think the thing, like, the cliche of pop is, I always my definition of pop is that means anyone can listen to it, a child to a grandmother. Like, pop music it's accessible. It's accessible to everyone, as
Hmm.
opposed to, like, when you throw major genre labels on certain stuff, like, that means it's not accessible. And I mean, I will give you the perfect example when it comes to your music, of me playing it in my store, and the different types of people that ask me, what is this? Shows that you've created something that's accessible to many different styles of people that I never would imagine someone being, hey, what is this?
That's so cool. That's like the dream, like you said. That's kind of always been, that's one of the things I think on my bucket list and just in general for me as a goal, or when I make any kind of goal or dream board or whatever you want to call it. It's just kind of like, can I make something that like everybody can hear and get excited about? I think like, because I do feel that good music is good music, like you said. And yeah, I've always found like people always talk about like rock music with such a like edge to it, and like they're so aggressive about who's allowed in that genre. But I always laugh because like I think about some Green Day songs and I think about like some Fall Out Boy songs, and I look at them as like such pop songs. Like they really wrote pop, and people don't like to hear that. Sometimes they get pissed off about that, which is so funny to me. So I'll live and die on that. I'm like, yeah, dude, like good music's good music and songs are songs. So that's what I want to do for sure.
So when did you find your own way with music? What was, like, did you, because you were saying you were introverted and were keeping things to yourself, but like, when did you, like, your dive into it and say, I want to do this? Was there an instrument? Did you have to take a class? Like, what was it that really truly got you to a point of where you are now?
I honestly was so delusional. I just was like, this is what I'm gonna do, despite being all of those things. And I definitely started taking steps towards it. Like I begged my parents to put me through piano lessons. And, like locally there was someone teaching. So they were like, yeah, we'll do that, but you can't quit. Of course I quit. Like I did it for like 4 years and hated it, like every second of it, couldn't
Yeah,
stand
there's
it.
there's
Oh,
900 million people who quit their piano lessons. I'm
oh,
one of them.
yeah, it's like torture, and everybody knows you're gonna quit, so they're like, "You can't quit." But I definitely hated it. But then I started guitar lessons again, like just a local person in town teaching, and I spent like 2, 3 years doing that, and then kind of just self-taught myself when I was like 11, 12, the rest of the way. And so I immediately kind of like I think I just saw all the bands and the music that I was listening to. There was guitarists, and I was like more hooked on the guitar lines. There wasn't a lot of piano music, so I was like not finding anything in that would really keep me going, getting me excited about it. But again, that tool is so useful. Like I'm so grateful to have piano now, and like grateful that I love both. Like I love guitar and piano. Um, but I don't know. Like I definitely like I played in bands. I tried my best to get like my songs heard. I was always a songwriter. I was very bad at covering music. Still kind of am to this day. I don't find that I can remember. I don't know what it is about my memory, but like I really only remember things that like I write. I don't know. It's hard for me to remember other
I,
people's
I, I hate
lyrics.
I hate cover songs.
I'm
It's
really bad at them.
at my venue, when people are like, "Hey, I have a band," I'm like, "I know everyone has a band." I'm like, and I'm like, "Are you a cover band?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Sorry, we don't do that here." I'm like, "It's all original music all the time." Like,
I love that.
yeah.
I think that was my thing too, is I was like, I was more interested in like if other people are doing covers and everybody else is singing other people's songs, like I want other people to want to sing my songs or whatever. Again, just very delusionally like 13, 14, writing songs. And I didn't have a band, but I'd always wanted one. So I tried to just play coffee houses and like things at school, and people were kind of supportive, but I wasn't great. And it didn't take me, I didn't really get my chops, I'll call them. Like I was like, because now like I'm confident I can say like, I belt on stage, like I can sing and I'm energetic and I can play guitar and sing and I can do all these things. And even playing guitar, I can like play solos, things that I never really pictured myself doing or didn't really aspire to do when I was just starting out. But yeah, when I hit like 19 and like went to a city, I started taking a vocal lesson from somebody who was amazing and just like so raw and pretty much just told me exactly how to get like I was very not nearly as good as I am today, and this vocal coach just happened to be a luck of the draw for me because they just fixed a lot of the things that yeah, I can't even express that like it was life-changing. And um because I'd always been a singer. So like I definitely had like tone and I had good pitch and I had all these other things, but I had no idea how to like sing proper and like do it on stage the way that I wanted to do it. And I think from playing guitar with my band for years and years, we did a bunch of bar gigs. We would go around and do like the bar circuit in the cities and just play dive bars for 3 hours to nobody. Like it was rough nights. And yeah, from that, I think I really just built this like muscle in my stomach. And I could just, because everything was so loud too, we played in a band. I had 3 guitars, including myself. So it was like 2 of my friends and me playing guitar. So it was like, obviously I had to learn how to out sing the fucking amps because it was so loud on stage. But that just like really opened up a whole thing for me, and being able to sing loud, which was always a dream. I always thought I'd never be able to do that. And yeah, so I really got those chops up from just doing it a lot and taking every step I could. Like I said, if I could get help, if I could get lessons, I would do it.
Putting in the work, the effort.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of things
Yeah.
that people don't like to do. A lot of
Yeah.
things that people think, oh, well, I can just fix this in post.
Yeah.
Life
But I
isn't like
always
that.
but I always laugh because there are some artists and they're just so like gorgeously gifted, or maybe they took the opportunities earlier in life. And like I said, mine was much later in life for some people. Like I was in my well 20s, like when I was really figuring it all out. So early 20s and late teens is when and it still worked so that you could really, like I always say that now, despite like wishing I was still 21, it's like my voice is stronger than it's ever been. So I'm really grateful that despite maybe my colleagues being like 18 and crushing it, it's like I'm really glad that like yeah, for me this is the process it had to be. This is yeah, it worked out.
Now, you said the word band a bunch of times, so I love this question that I get to ask people. What was the name of the very first band you were ever in?
The very first band I was ever in was oh my god, it was called Hello Ecliptico. It was like a make believe name. I don't even know where that came from. And I was dating the guitar player at the time, so I just kind of let him run with it. I was like, "Yeah, you're super smart and cool. I trust you." It was a horrible band name. It was the worst band name, and we were a terrible band. Like honestly, it was so hard. And it's funny because the drummer that's in my band now was like the neighboring competing band. He was in that band, and I was in this other band from like the neighboring town, and our band was just not serious. We were so unserious. And like his band was so serious and they were like just so great. They could like crush all the competitions. And yeah, so basically when we got older, I cherry picked the few players from that band and was like, can you guys work with me now? Because they were all going to college. And I was like, you guys were so good. Can we like work together? So, because yeah, my band was going nowhere. I was like, they were so funny. I remember like the chain smoking from the drummer. He was like 15. And like we played one gig and I swear to God, he smoked a whole pack of cigarettes and got up on stage and just like sped the song up like 100 BPM faster than it should have been. It was so silly. And just, yeah. There's actually a footage if you look it up. If you are deep cutting Hello Ecliptico, you can find some of the worst band footage on the internet of my very first baby band. God love
That's
them.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
there's footage because I will deep dive
You
and
definitely
listen.
should. I have no shame. I have
and I
zero
will write
shame.
you what I think about it. So,
Please.
yeah.
I was ripping. I was doing the most back then. It was so cute. I loved it. Such a good time.
Do you remember your first concert you ever went to, and then the second part is, if it's different, the first concert you got to choose to go to.
Yeah, my parents took me to April Wine. It was probably the only concert that came to town, like actually
Nice.
in my town. Yeah, and it
An
was really
amazing,
cool.
an amazing Canadian rock band. If
It
people don't know who
was.
April Wine is, they're an amazing Canadian rock band from the 70s
Yes,
and the
it
early
was
80s.
it was super cool, I will say. I was so young though, so it was very like it's all blur. And then I think the first one that I ever chose to go to would have been like Avril Lavigne, of course, which I know is so cliche, but like that would have been, again, no one really came to Nova Scotia, like where I grew up. So it was very rare. And if there was a big show, like, you know, you'd be on the phone for hours trying to get tickets to go and it would sell out in minutes. So yeah, but that was probably the first big one that I got to go to. And yeah, I was sick. I mean, good
So,
vibes.
what was like the local show scene for you growing up then? Like, I tell people I'm very lucky. I'm North Jersey, right outside New York City. So local show scenes
Dude,
as I was growing up is like,
stop it.
you
Bruce
know,
Springsteen? Are
fuck
you literally?
Springsteen. But I mean,
Whoa, shots fired.
yeah.
I love this. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Yeah, for
So
me, it was
funny.
like, I got to see, as I tell people, I got to see so many awesome bands play fucking firehouses and roller skating
Yes.
rinks and going to Maxwell's and seeing
Uh,
fucking Smashing Pumpkins with 120 other people. Like,
stop it.
I was very lucky. But like in Nova Scotia, what was that scene for you growing up? What was like your place to go to see some good shows as a
Mm.
teenager?
Oh, there was none, and I was not allowed. Like I was pretty much like, yeah. Well, I lived farther from the city, right? So like if you grew up right inner city, you'd be fine. But my parents were pretty strict. And to be fair, I was getting away with enough, I think. So I was kind of I was a rascal. I would kind of go out with my friends and I would like leave town and kind of go and party with my friends and you know the classics like you're in a car with a 30-year-old and you've got the music blaring and you're drinking a drink you probably shouldn't have, like those kinds of crazy stories that would only happen in the early 2000s. Like that was kind of my childhood or like my teenagehood. So my parents pretty much did not allow me very many excursions. I was kind of, yeah. But the few times like I did want to go, it would be like the Pavilion in Halifax. That would have been a great all ages venue that rest in peace. It was like where the White Stripes first would come through and tour, and like so many stories of my friends like going to the White Stripes and me basically sitting home crying. And then yeah, there was a few actually. There was one show that I remember going to as a teen that was so exciting for me. You know, like sneaking out of the house and just like going. It was like a 40-minute drive from where I grew up. And it was a band called 10 Second Epic. And I don't know if they made their mark in America at all, but they're very pop punk, like, again, Fall Out Boy adjacent. And they were huge in Canada. And like, I loved them so much. So I remember going to that kind of pop punk show. And I remember everybody was like a theater and no one was standing up. And me, me and like my four friends were those bitches just like running to the front of the stage, like 17 years old, just like jumping up and down, trying to create a mosh pit in this small town theater. It was so funny, but it was great. 10 out of 10. Yeah.
Nice. All
Yeah.
right. Now let's get a little introspective here. If no one has ever heard of LOVIET and you meet a stranger and they say, well, what are you? And you can only play them one song of yours. And it has to be released out in the world now. So it can't be something you're holding back for the album. Something that's already out there, and you pull out your phone and say, this is the song you need to listen to.
Damn.
What song are you playing for them?
That's a challenging one. Like, what am I? I guess, because like the thing is, I, from release to release, it does feel like we kind of get in so many different, well, every single, I'm one of these people. I just want everyone to hear more than one thing and like, you know, put it all together. But I feel like I would just refer to maybe The Nighttime is All in the Timing and January.
I could take away from everything, but sometimes I'm just happier living my head innocent. So just give me a break, if you let me. come back again. I should be complacent instead. I'm grasping straws, falling out of my hands, taking your civility more than it is. It's anyone's guess, but I just stare in the moment. Let it not be me. I can't even breathe. If everything was ingenuine, then what was genuine?
Like, I feel like that song, it's from 2023 when we released that record. And I just feel like it's still one of these sleepers that, like, when I play it live and when people finally hear it, they kind of just, it clicks. And it's a song that means a lot to me. And it's really hard, like you said, to have a calling card song.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even say it needs to be a calling card. It's like you're sitting down in front of, you know, the world's biggest record label, and they say you got 3.5 minutes to...
Dude, and that's real. And see, that's the funniest part is for a record label, I would have a different answer than for a fan. Like, I think for a fan, I would be like, here's January. And then for a record label, I'd probably be like, well, here's Broken Lips or Stiffy, because there's like the two, the duality of the fact that like Broken Lips did well streaming, like on the streaming numbers. And that's a song that I still feel like people are discovering, but who knows if that's from the song's worth or if it's from the algorithm. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's so funny how those things work. And then Stiffy, it feels like a fuck you. So I would just love to play that for the label, period. Just
So
in general.
what is your
I'm just kidding.
favorite song to perform? Like, is there just one song that gets you, like, when you put it on the set list, you're just like, yeah, I can't wait?
Honestly, I've been loving playing Wouldn't Give at our shows, mostly because, again, the live version of these songs, it always gives us the chance to kind of recreate, like just to find the spaces in the songs that the live moment is really fun. And I feel like Wouldn't Give has this one space in the bridge that just, it's so open for me to like shout out the audience and like shout out the town that we're in, and to do all my favorite moves, because I also just like to move around on stage. And like a lot of the songs, like that's
My favorite moves.
no, for real.
like you're an MMA fighter. You know?
Oh my God, I kind of feel like one. I actually do. I'm like literally twisting around and like jumping on speakers. It's so funny. That's so real. But I do feel like the thing with the new songs, again, where I like kind of recorded them all and played all these parts myself. And we do have a guitarist now that we've had to hire, because before that we could kind of get by as a 3-piece. But for this new record, we definitely have had so much guitar going on, because I was having so much fun in the recording process that it's like I love playing them live, but I have a lot less time to kind of play with the audience. I'm just working on the song, you know what I mean? I'm just playing the parts of the song. So we're just still getting that kind of thing down. And this is such a new record, like, and everywhere we go, it's like we play new markets. So it's open to us to put all of our songs on the roster. Like we don't really have to just play our new stuff. So yeah, it's kind of hard when you get that much on your catalog, because yeah, I still value all the old songs and the new songs. So yeah, I'm curious,
Well,
what would
breathe life into your old songs too, like with new fans. Like I hate when people like, oh, that's an old song, like especially if someone like yells something down the crowd and like in a band's like, that's an old song, we're not going to play that. But it's like you can breathe new life into something to people that have never heard it before, which is what I love too. Like you know, some people have never heard something and they're like, wait, what song is that? Like I've heard people like say, oh my God, have you heard this song by them? And they're like, no, I haven't. And it's like, well, yeah, it's from 10 years ago, but it deserves the listen, so the band should play it. That's usually my like feeling on a lot of things.
No, I'm there. I feel that with a lot of bands today, where I'm like, it's kind of a scary climate, because I feel like I don't want bands' songs to get slept on and then they kind of blow up later. And yeah, it's so crazy that like that could happen if you're, you know, if you're not paying attention right now. That's why it's so hard. All these bands are getting lost out there in the noise, and they shouldn't be.
No, that's why I created the show, to get the
I
bands.
love it. Well, we just got off tour. We just did a tour with a band called Last Dinosaurs, and again, they're just phenomenal. And they're by no means a small band. Like they have a huge following, but I still feel like when you see a band with a huge following, it doesn't ever get lost to me that I think that, like, why isn't it even bigger? You know what I mean? Like it's almost even worse. You're like, you should be the biggest band in the world. Like your music's amazing. So
that's what pisses me off. That's literally the lifeblood of the show that I started 6 years ago, finding artists that I just like would hear their music and I'm like, these guys are fucking great. Like how does no one know, but how do they have 827 monthly listeners on Spotify? How do they only have 1,200 followers on Instagram and they have 5 albums out? And like, are they doing something wrong? Are we doing something wrong as the listeners? Like what's happening?
Amen, dude. Virtual
and that was literally the lifeblood of the show. Of, I'm going to reach out. I'm going to try to help, do anything I can to get someone to hear this fucking band.
Dude, I love that. Yeah. That's so sick. I was going to ask you though, like when you play the LOVIET catalog, is there a song that you find, like for research purposes, like do you find there's a song that you feel is a great, you know, one songer, like a great intro? Like what would you give? Like what would you say?
Dull Shine.
I love that. See, and that's like, again, I would have never thought that in 1,000 years. That's so sick. Like, because that record, again, like that was like a blip. Like we released 777 in a pandemic, literally. And I don't even talk to the guy that produced it anymore. Like there was so much going on there with like that. And yeah, like there was just a vibe that wasn't it for me. And yeah, like there's some songs on that record that I actually just started playing acoustic when I did a little acoustic tour over the winter, and like Make Me Want to Die and Feel Bad for It. I stripped them back to the way that like would have been just me in my room playing and writing the song. And I played it for the audiences that were, again, we were opening for a bigger band. So fans that had never heard me before. And honestly, that was such a like dream come true to like reconnect with a record that it feels like years ago. It doesn't even feel like it's on my record anymore. It's been so long and so many things have changed. But no, it makes me so happy when people connect to that record, and especially Dull Shine. That's another huge song for us that opened so many doors. So it's pretty crazy.
I think it shows, and for me, and don't take this the wrong way, I think it shows, like, if I play it for someone, it shows the sincerity, it shows the simplicity, and it shows the potential of what you are.
I love that.
So like, as a starting reference point for someone, like this is a song that's all potential of what's to come. And that's usually what I like for people, because if you can hit like on a song, for me, like, and I'm very big on finding like that song on an album, like of a new artist or something, like, all right, this is the potential song, this is what they could be, and even bigger. And that's usually what I get drawn to when I hear something. It's like, I was like, oh, it's there, like, it's there, I can't wait to see what comes next.
I love that. I love that you can hear that. Like, and again, I think it's really interesting because, like, the artist and what we were saying before, where, what's my pick? Like, I am not that girl. Like, I am so artist in that way, where, like, I can listen to other people's art or other people's music and maybe have the same ability that you're talking about. But when it comes to myself, oh my God, too many factors. Like, I'm not there. I'm not listening to the right thing. I'm just, it's so different.
Well, because all the ins and outs of it too.
Exactly.
Like, and I think that's the hard part, is like,
it's
you
toxic.
you could cut a song, and you could know when you hear a certain part of the song that you were thinking something completely different than the recording of the song at that time, even though no one else fucking knows it. But then you'll pick that out and be like, nah, we need to redo that. But no one else fucking knows that.
No, it's so real. And, like, that is the struggle, I think, especially in the, like, again, our favorite records, like you're talking about the Beach Boys. And I'm like, there was a beauty of the era when, like, and I don't know, because we weren't really there. Like, I don't actually have the experiences, but it just feels like it. Maybe it's all the fucking documentaries or whatever. But I'm just like, why does it seem like those producers? Like, I just watched one about the Libertines. And it was also so
Great
interesting.
band.
Like, and like the producer was one of these great producers that worked with everybody. And, like, his method for working with them was something that he conjured up just for that band. Like, he spent the energy of going to the shows, and of course it's on labels money, so, like, he's getting flown around to do whatever to, like, make sure that whatever this band and him are making suits that band, versus, like, you're coming into the studio, you have to, like, a week to record, and it's a budget that the band's put together that's, like, nickels and dimes. And it's just so funny how, like, there was so much care, and there was such a team of people that could be that voice that we're both talking about, like, that could hear that potential in something and see that potential in a band and actually, like, take it to where it needed to go. Whereas,
I think
like,
I think that's just a person thing. Like, that's a personality trait people have. Like, there's a thing in my old life before I started doing a lot of this stuff. As a manager, like, I used to explain to people, I'm like, I don't manage people. I manage personalities. And that's the same thing as a producer. You have to know how to get the best out of everybody. And when you blanket, most managers in any business, they put this umbrella over people, right? And everyone has to do the same thing and be the same way. And I'm like, nothing's going to get accomplished that way, because everyone's why is completely different.
Dude, that's the facts.
And that's the same thing with music. Everyone's why of what they're doing. And you have to know that, okay, the drummer doesn't give a shit, so I have to figure out how to make him give a shit and get the best out of him. Meanwhile, the person who wrote these songs is giving it 130%, and it's also overshadowing the person who doesn't give a shit, and it's also overshadowing the session musician who's just here to get paid. So
no, literally. And I miss that, like, care and, like, that interest in that, because I feel like it is kind of a one size fits all out there. Like, the amount of producers that I've kind of stumbled into rooms with, I'm like, like, it doesn't feel like there's that conscious, like, they're just not paying attention to those things. So real. So
it's also helping the artist figure out what they want to do. Because I think a lot of times, as an artist, you get lost in your own creation. And where, a lot of times when people bring me their music and I listen to it with them, and if it's not great, I never say it's not great.
No.
I just go like this. I go, so what do you think? Tell me your thoughts on what you just played for me.
I love that. Yeah.
And I just want, and I wait to hear. And if there's no sincerity in their answer, I go, then then you already know.
Yeah.
You know what I think.
Yeah.
If you're not sincere and energetic about it, why should I be?
Dude, that's so real. I love, I'm the same. I'm cut from that same cloth, which is like, well, what do you like? I have never been someone to just judge or quickly like voice an opinion. And like you said, it's not up to me half the time. Like, yeah, I just went through this experience with a fucking performance coach that I happened to stumble into a room with for some conference. And let's just say we're not friends, her and I. There's no connection there. Will not be ever. Because that's the kind of person she was. It was very American Idol. It was very, you need me to be this hard critic on you and tell you things and jump down your throat. And again, I was like, I think that there's no room for the artist to, like you said, to develop themselves and to know what they're
No.
doing. If you're gonna be the one, you're gonna just piss them off, honestly. Like
Exactly.
you need to come to it at a good place. And yes, I'm with you there. Like, and I've always trusted other people. And I've also just never been somebody that like it is different now. I think like there's no somebody could blow up tomorrow. That's not very good. Like in my opinion, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
No,
it's just
I see it all the time. So
exactly. And I don't feel like I am someone to judge ever. Like you never fucking know. And so it's like a very like, you just do what if they really want your advice, yeah, that's cool. Like open up the floor. But I'm always very careful because yeah, I'm there. I have things that I like. If people want to know my personal opinions, that's about what I like and don't like. But when it comes to like a place where people are looking for growth and like advice and yeah, I'm very sensitive. I've been through it enough myself, but I'm also like, yeah, I'm sensitive.
all right. Speaking about things you like, is there a band or artist in your life that never lets you down? It's like you're constant. I always look at it when I don't know what I want to listen to in the vast array of music that I have in my life. I find myself always just going back to an artist or a band.
I love this. Okay, well, I have my like desert island picks that I always
Okay, go.
I love it. Well, I mean, it's Sheryl Crow, obviously, like her self-titled record is a masterpiece. I'm obsessed with that record.
Fire everybody on that album. I don't like her for that.
Wait, she did?
Oh, you didn't,
Dude,
yeah,
I need the tea. See, I want the deep cuts about all this
yeah.
shit. I wish I knew.
Oh,
So she
yeah,
just said,
she had, so the guitarist and drummer, so they were session people. They put together a band together with her.
okay.
They recorded everything. She gets a #1 hit and she fires the entire band and then gives no one credit for anything and then goes on. Yeah, so Sheryl Crow is I'm not a big fan of her.
Whoa, dude, this is
Sorry if I
crazy.
ruin it for you. But,
No,
yeah.
listen, I love to hear it. Let's fucking get the tea. But that's
Yeah.
insane. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here I am, biggest fan of that record.
That's
Fucking
awesome.
delicious.
That's fine.
Okay. Okay.
It's a good record. So,
All right. And then, okay, my other, like, as of lately, dude, Fontaine's DC has been
awesome.
amazing. Like, both of their records, Romance is great. And then what is Skinty Fia? That's another fucking great record. Also, this band, oh my God. And you're from New Jersey, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a band I think they're from New York. They're called Ben Stellar, I guess, but it's like Ben.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. I'm literally so fucking obsessed with this band. Like it's called Scream from New York, New York. I listen to that record every single day, like probably every single day since it's come out, since I found it. So that was like 2025 when I found it, I think.
Nice.
So yeah, truly obsessed. But yeah, and then okay, well, Jimmy Eat World, I'm obsessed. Bleed American, obsessed. Can't get enough of that record. Futures,
yeah.
do you hate them?
So you want to know my love-hate story with Jimmy Eat World?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell me.
Okay, so sitting directly in front of me, there's a CD rack in my studio here.
Okay.
And it is an entire section of Jimmy Eat World stuff. I'm probably one of the very few people in the world that actually own their very first album ever that people don't know about on CD. And I was hook, line, and sinker in. Static Prevails to me was absolutely amazing. Clarity is a emo masterpiece. Bleed American is a pop emo masterpiece. Yeah. And then Futures is, they got a little harder and I loved it.
Love Futures, yeah.
And then after that, every single album's the same fucking album.
Amen.
It's the one thing where I said it before, you're adding too much paint, you're adding too much salt to the steak.
Yes.
Like all right. So when Something Loud, when I first got that, so that was sent to me by a record label. I was excited. I was like, Jimmy World. I'm like, it's going to be another Jimmy World song. And Something Loud, and I was like, holy shit, this is fucking amazing. I'm like, I can't wait for what this is going to be. And then all the other songs are exactly the fucking same as fucking everything that came after Futures. And I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm good. Like I got all the best. I got to see Jimmy Eat World in a firehouse. I got to see him at a roller skating rink.
Dude.
I got to see them perform with so many people. I just saw them out in Vegas at Best Friends Forever Fest. And now that they're doing the Bleed American 25th anniversary tour, people are like, oh, you want to? I was like, dude, I think I just saw them for the last time. Like, I think I'm good. Like I've gotten the best and the worst out of them, and I really don't need any more. And it's like a love hate. I love it. I was a huge fan of Static Prevails because Tom Linton's fucking singing. I loved his songs the most on Static Prevails, not Jim's. Nice. And then, when they go on to DreamWorks, it's like, hey, we need Jim to sing all the songs. Mm-hmm. And that's where it's like, and Tom's okay with that. And he's just that type of guy where he just, okay, I'm making, I'm good. But, someone else, I wish someone else was like, no, I enjoy fucking singing some of these songs.
Dude, that's so real. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's my love-hate relationship.
Okay,
I'm just like, I'm done.
It. Yeah, I kind of get that. Like, that's like, again, another record that I'm obsessed with is the Third Eye Blind, like, self-titled record.
See, I'm a Through the Vein. That's my favorite.
And that's so funny because I don't listen to any other record. Like, I literally don't go deeper. It's like, that's the one record I listen to, and I'm good. That's good for me. I'm all right.
Yeah, it's a great record, and the hit songs are the worst songs on the record.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
They have I've used them before as a band that's overrated and underrated at the same time.
I can see that.
Because I think Blue, like, their best songs aren't their hits, and Blue, their second album, and Through the Vein, their third album, like, I think they had one of the greatest 3-album runs around. Like, I think those 3 albums are almost, I wouldn't say completely perfect. They're not perfect 10s, but I'd give them I'd start with a 9.8, go to a 9.5 and a 9.5. Like, they're not perfect, but like they're 3 great albums.
That's so funny. What do you think about, like, okay, so like the Killers' Hot Fuss? Like, are you a Killers?
It's a perfect 10.
Yeah, it's a perfect 10.
It's a perfect 10. It really is.
Sam's Town's okay, but like,
Sam's Town's an 8.7, but Hot Fuss, it's a perfect 10 album.
It's a perfect 10. It's so fucking good. And like, I don't even dislike some of the other stuff that they make. Like, that's surprisingly one band that, like, they will make new records and they are kind of copy paste, but I kind of still fuck with it. Sometimes I like when enjoy when there's a little.
Yeah, I enjoy when I hear a song from a band like that I'm like, oh, I can fuck with this song. Where I know the rest of them I'm not going to be able to, but I'm like, no, I like this. It's like that happened to me with Coheed in Cambria for a while, and then I heard Toys, and I was like, oh shit, they could have me back. They didn't, but they continue to like they continue to have instances where I'm like, damn, that's fucking good.
That's so funny. I love that. Dude. Okay, that's awesome. I'm obsessed. The only other last record that I will say that will be on repeat, and again is a 10 out of 10 for me, top to bottom, is Augustana, All the Stars and Boulevards. Like, it's another 2000s throwback, but do you know the record?
Oh yeah, I totally know the record.
Yeah. I listen to that record it's one that's always downloaded, always on the ready. Doesn't matter what streaming platform, it's just ready.
And they were a band that I think it was just a minute too late.
Yeah. Dude, that's horrible.
Like, it was a minute too late for that, like, the Fall Out Boy, the Panic at the Discos to all do it. And then, like, I think, and it's happened to so many bands, like, you just missed. Like, you just missed. Like, you were on the precipice. People kind of heard who you were. Yeah. And then it just missed.
Dude, fucking heartbreaking. And I love how scrappy that record is. It's not even that great. Like, it's good. It's great, but it's not like what the polish of everything else is. And it's still kind of like Americana. Like, such a good record, and God love them. Because everything after that was also not it for me. Like, I didn't really get down. So like, that record just felt really, yeah. And again, I'm a 2000s baby. That's kind of the jams that I remember that I still listen to them. So
yeah, that's what sculpted you. So that's true. That's totally understandable.
Yeah.
All right, we're naming all this stuff. How about something that you listen to that you get so much enjoyment out of listening to that people would be really surprised to hear you get that much enjoyment out of listening to it?
Like a song, like a
Song,
funny
artist,
artist.
something. Yeah, like song or artist. Mine's
Hmm.
Jamiroquai. Like people look at me covered in tattoos and and
Yeah,
Jamiroquai is like that's my go-to. Like I
that's
just will
so
throw on
funny.
anything by Jamiroquai and have the time of my life.
Oh my God, I love this. Okay. Hmm. Let me think. Like, I'm such a creature of habit. I just listen to the same few records. Hmm. Something silly. Like, I'm too cool for this. What do you mean? No, I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
well, that's why I call it.
Oh, okay. You know what? I love that when I grew up, my parents, I found this really fucking random dance. It was almost like the first ever much, which would be like MTV Dance. Like in Canada, they have these thing called like Much Dance CDs,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like our TV's version of MTV. It was Much Music. So then, whatever the accumulation of whatever cool songs were hip, there'd be like the compilation, like a Now CD or whatever. Anyway, there was one that was specifically dance music, and if you remember, like the Pam and Tommy spoof that just came out like
Mm-hmm.
recently, yeah, and how everything was like Rhythm of the Night and like Hadaway, What Is Love, like that caliber of '90s club music, like that would be my, like, weirdly, I was like when I was on tour like 3 years ago by myself, I did a solo tour and I was quite like moody throughout it because I was just by myself and like sitting in hotels, and I would be listening to like Hallelujah, Buckley, and like Ceilings, Lizzie McAlpine, and then What Is Love by Hadaway would come on, and I would that would be the playlist.
Oh,
Like
baby, don't
I
hurt me.
yeah, that's where I would go. I'd be, or like Rhythm of the Night. I'd be like, yeah, I'll keep this on. It's cool. And then go back to just like brooding, sad, cut yourself music. It was crazy. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
anytime someone mentions MTV on here, I always have to ask the trivia question: Who invented MTV?
Oh my
Do you know?
God. I don't know.
Okay.
MTV, it was invented by somebody. I never
Yeah.
think about those things.
Yeah.
Somebody had to do that. Wow.
Michael
Who did it?
Nesmith of the Monkees.
Whoa, that's crazy. Wait a
Yep.
second. When did he do that? Because that would have been like, he was bigger in like the 60s, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he went into TV production after that.
Oh, wow.
The
That's
Monkees were thrown
insane.
together as just random actors, and
What?
they actually had talent, and they became an actual band because of the TV show.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah, but he went into TV production after that, and he created this late night show that would help create music videos for artists, and then he
Ugh.
would put it on, and it was so highly rated, and then he brought it to networks, and Viacom.
Oh my God. Pour
Yeah,
one out. Pour
yeah,
one out for MTV and the Monkees. Like,
yeah,
no, it's devastating what we could do with that right now. We need somebody,
yeah,
somebody like the Monkees to come back into the picture.
yeah. It's all fucking YouTube nowadays, so whatever.
Yeah, man, Jesus. Yeah,
Which I don't.
freaking.
I don't. That's what I miss about it, because it was constant
Yeah, it was
videos. It's not. You're not
unifying.
going to YouTube for like one
Search.
band's music video. Like, yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah. No, and there's no numbers, man. Like I didn't know if one person was watching TV or like hundreds and thousands of people. Obviously, there was another thing behind the scenes, but like it was so nice to just be unified without the user having so much information. Like it's crazy how much we all know about, like without even realizing we know it. But if there's a million views on a video, you're gonna be like, wow, a
Yeah.
million views. Like who fucking cares? Like,
That's why I haven't checked the numbers on this show since the day I started.
dude, respect. Like the amount of like 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds who like want to become vloggers and shit. Like I'm like sure that's going to be the way that things go. Like
Yeah. I
that's
tell
they've
people I
asked
do this
for it.
because I love it. I don't have commercials. I'm never going to have commercials. Like
Nice.
this is a for the love of getting people to meet
Hell
new
yeah.
people and interact and listen to music, and like that's it. Like that's, to me, that's all that fucking matters. Like
Me too. That is me as well. So there you go, brother.
all right, 5 minutes left
Cheers
to
to
live.
that.
Yeah, you got 5 minutes left to live, and you can only listen to one song and one song only. What are you going to listen to?
Oh, I've thought about this one before too. This one's, yeah.
Yeah,
Probably, like I said, I do want to, it's just because it's of the times right now. I'm so psycho. Um, but I would probably like put on Sweet by Ben Stiller. I just love that song. I love that record. And right now it really hits all the marks for me. They kind of have like almost like a Radiohead meets like, I don't know, like a more modern kind of thing. But anyway, I just like their vibe.
Okay.
And it's guitar music. I like that.
All right. Another tragedy's happening. Unfortunately, your domicile is burning to the ground. All living things, including the goldfish and ferrets and everything, are out completely safe and alive. But you have a second to run back in and grab one musical thing that means the most to you. What's that one thing you're running back into that fire for?
Ugh, man, that's tough. I have a lot of musical, like, to be honest, my guitars that I take on tour, I'm a piece of shit with. Like, I don't even care if they live or die, even though I do. But I just had my plane literally just drove off the other day without our guitars, and like luckily there was no show that night. Otherwise, I would be kind of pissed. But so many people in my DMs were just like, "Dude, that's crazy." But like, I'm just so like, I don't take guitars that I'm like super nostalgic or like super attached to on tour for that reason, just because the unknown. But when it comes to like memorabilia and things that I have a lot of love and care for, um, like I have guitars that like I keep at home and I don't really take out of the case, which is insane. Like I have a 339, a Gibson 339 that like I spent my life savings plus when I was like 20 to get, and I just don't even touch it anymore. Like I just keep it safely under my bed, which is an insane thing to do. And then other than that, like anything that belongs to my parent, like my mom, and my grandfather, he had this old guitar and it's probably worth like $30. It was from Sears back in the day, which is just like bargain store. And but it has like his cigarette burns and like the neck of it and like things like that. So I would definitely want to grab maybe that. And it's more just a pretty thing to look at.
Yeah.
But it's nice. It's sentimental.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. One more question since we've passed the golden hour of an awesome conversation. But considering the fact that I own a record store, I have to ask this question. What was the last album you purchased?
Ooh, let me think on that. Because my record player has been in storage for like ever, but I've been just kind of keeping my favorite ones just like laying places, obviously for the aesthetic and because yeah, records are so sick, and very very useful to have records when you're actually printing records to try to figure out the layout and like the design. Love that. Um, but I'm trying to think. I honestly think it might have been Chemtrails Over the Country Club, which is a Lana record, and I'm a big Lana stan, of course. You know, there's a whole thing there. But yeah, that's one of the I think my newer, and I only got it for that reason. It was like, well, I got to get a Lana Del Rey record. I've got my whole record, my Courtney Love record. I need to have my soft with my tough with my unsoft. So
All right.
that's what
Nice.
I did. Yeah.
All right. Well, before we move into our final segment, which is our weekly threes, where you appeared recently, it's three things you're listening to. I'd love to give you this opportunity right now to tell all the people listening out there how it is they can find what you're doing, how to keep up with you, your tours, all that kind of stuff. So basically, throw all your handles out to people so they can keep up with you, get in touch, tell you how amazing you are. That they
I
don't have
love
the hour that I did to tell you how awesome you are, but.
Dude, thanks so much for the chats. This was lovely. But yeah, check out LOVIET music at everything essentially. Like Instagram is probably my most active, TikTok. I just like to be silly on those platforms and LOVIET music for YouTube and loviet.com for my website. And then just yeah, LOVIET, like Soviet with an L. Um, yeah, check it out.
Awesome. All right. So we are now in our weekly three segment. I think I know one of them already, but three things you've been listening to recently that you would like people to check out. You're going to give three, then I give my three.
Oh, okay. I love this. All right. Well, let's do Ben Stellar, like we said. So fucking good.
I already wrote it down. So
I
yeah.
love that. Literally, tell me what you think about that because it's such a freaking jam. Okay, there's a band in Canada that I fell in love with. They're called Thermal. And one of their songs, well, a bunch of their songs, but 18 is one of my all-time favorite songs, and it's by them. So the band Thermal, they're amazing. And let me just see if there's anyone else funsy to throw in this mix. Like that would be more unknown, I guess, or something more.
It doesn't matter what it is.
unique?
Just something you've been listening to that you would think people would enjoy.
You know what? I'm also gonna throw in, yeah, okay, well, Last Dinos, like I said, we just did that tour, so it's real fresh. But they just released a 10th anniversary of one of their older records. 10 years went by, so they re-recorded it and added a few songs that hadn't been released before. But I really love the song Dead or Alive by Last Dinosaurs. So good.
All right. Awesome. Good 3. My 3 for this week. My first one is a band called Hiccup Heart. Name of the album is Gravity Racer. They are let's see, we got to throw genre labels so people understand. They're a Norwegian shoegazy band.
Nice. Okay.
All right.
Writing it down.
Number 2 is a band / artist called Bright, all capital letters, Brite.
Love that name. That's so good.
The name of what I was listening to was Trying to Forget Me. I'd say if you're a fan of, let's see, The Cure, Smithish,
Hell yeah.
maybe My Life with the Thrill Kill. It's very post-punk, really good new stuff.
Obsessed.
Check that out.
Okay.
And last but not least, since I was doing some reorganization of my own musical library that I own, I came across a CD that I forgot what it was, and I put it in immediately and has been on constant rotation. But the name of the band is Revolver. They were a early 90s British shoegaze band that I have been on. It just really hasn't come out of my CD player, and I've been playing it, and everybody has started to download it. I guess they're getting some more love now after I've been playing it forever in the store. But it is so fucking good if you want to see like what early 90s shoegaze came from.
Wait, this is hilarious. And they only have like their few, like they're not big streamed. I love it.
No, yeah, Cold Water Flat is the album. Like that's your starting point, and they're so fucking good. Yeah,
I'm excited. Sweet.
But those are my 3 for this week.
Hell yeah, that's dope.
But before we sign off here, I want to be able to tell you how much it means to me, not only to have you here, but actually creating the music that brought me to you, making me want to reach out to you. To me, that is so important. It means the world to me when I can connect with something and then reach out to that person to tell them exactly what it means to me and have an awesome conversation on a snowy day. This to me is so awesome. And thank you for what you do. What you do is important. I want you to know that. And I just want to thank you for creating it, what seems like just for me. So
thank you so much. That really rules, dude. This was such a fun chat. I'm like smiling all teeth. It's so fun. So thank you.
Well, you are very welcome. And everyone out there in the world, you know what time it is now. It's time to go out, listen to LOVIET, and have a great fucking time.
I'm losing the play and such a little one, but don't hang me up when you're the only one that I really want. So why do I just waste my time? I'm losing the day and night. Slowly, what's been happening? I die. Is it the sex on your mind? And I'm perplexed to feel right. I can't believe everything to me, but my weakness is heartbreak, baby. Overstimulated, I'll be love sound touches overrated. While these thoughts just keep invading me now. I'll talk to you in the middle of the night. I want you like the middle of July. Winter time, you're my sunshine. Tell me now, yeah. Oh, is it wrong or is it right? I wanna be the girl you like. Would you mind? Oh, I stand right. Do I just waste my time? I'm losing a day and night. So I'll be everything you need, but why? Is it the sex on your mind? Am I the place to feel right? Or can it be everything to me?
Thanks again for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at HiddenTracks99. Also, send all your submissions myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Tune in next week. You may find your new favorite band. And don't forget to go out and have a great fucking time.